The primary purpose of the site is to accommodate asylum seekers and conduct asylum procedures. The facility is designed for up to 390 sleeping places and the necessary workplaces. Applicants will remain in these centers for the duration of their proceedings and will no longer be transferred to the cantons, unless additional clarifications need to be made and an extended procedure initiated. In addition to accommodation for applicants, the federal asylum centers also have office space for interviewers, interpreters, document examiners and legal representation.
If you want to discover what's inside, you have to go through a big gate. Maybe you're surprised to meet a person from a company in a uniform that tells you strictly to stop. Maybe this person will ask you where you want to go or what you are doing here. If you're someone who just wants to take a look at what kind of place this is, the Securitas will tell you that you're not allowed to enter.
Hallo, wir wollten fragen, ob man hier reinkommen kann oder ob man einen Termin braucht mit jemandem zum Reingehen. Oder?
Ganz schlecht jetzt, weil Sie brauchen einen Termin, Bestätigung vom SEM. Ja. Und das Büro ist zu jetzt.
Das Büro ist zu. Okay.
Ja, da müssen wir am Montag anfragen,
okay.
Ob wir rein dürfen.
Okay. Und was braucht man denn, um dass SEM das bewilligt?
Wieso wollen Sie da reingehen?
Jemanden besuchen.
Dann dürfen Sie, wenn Sie jemanden besuchen wollen, dürfen Sie auch nur hier.
Nur hier? Ja. Okay.
Da rein dürfen das oder so nicht?
Wir dürfen nicht da rein. Okay. So, also bis hier dürfen wir. Ja. Und dann ist fertig, okay. Und warum nicht?
Warum ist halt einfach Vorschrift, wenn der Fremde reingehen darf halt einfach nicht. Okay. Sind Sie als Privatperson da?
Ja.
Okay, dann ist, wie die Kollege gesagt hat, überhaupt nicht möglich, Besuche von Corona. Sind Besuche überhaupt nicht erlaubt. Und auch vorher schon sind sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit drinnen erlaubt, sie sind nur da vorne in der Warteräume. Und wenn Sie sonst noch Fragen haben, dann können Sie sich gerne an das SEM melden. Wenn Sie Kontaktmöglichkeit haben mit dieser Person, Kontakt aufzunehmen, Sie können ja jederzeit raus, können Sie sich draussen treffen, wenn Sie beim Besuchen einfach hier rein in unsere Möglichkeit ist.
Okay. But if you're an asylum seeker and you want to make your first asylum request there, you will think that everything is normal here. You see the new nice building and you think, this is a good place to spend some weeks. The first thing that happens when you enter is that your bags and your pockets will be searched by the Securitas personnel. They take everything from you that is not allowed. You have to give them your name and other personal information. Then they take you on to travel. They call it travel, but that's a camp joke, because it's such a long way to go to the actual camp. They will tell you that they will bring you to the camp and you think, but I'm already on the camp. On the travel, you'll pass 6 electronic doors that open in front of you and close behind you before you arrive at the garden of the camp. With all the controls, it takes you 10 or more minutes from the first door to the entrance of the camp. From the garden, you can enter the actual camp. Life in the camp. They wake up everyone at 6:45 a.m. You don't have a choice. It's mandatory to get up. The breakfast is handed out between 7:15 and 7:45 a.m. There's just one kind of breakfast every day. Between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., the whole building and every sleeping room are closed for asylum seekers, and everyone has to go out to the small garden or leave the camp no matter how the weather is. So everyone is in the garden standing because there are only 2 benches. Between 12 a.m. and 12:30, it's lunchtime. If you come at 12:35, there will be no food for you. The rest of the day you can spend in your room or go outside the camp with all the controls and procedures. The dinner is from 6:30 to 7 p.m. So most of the people come back to the camp at 6:30 because otherwise they won't get dinner. This is the camp day. Eat and wait, no action, no exchange, no stimulation, no contact with the society. You feel alone. They make you live in isolation, routine life. Behind the villa, there is a garden for asylum seekers. The entrance of the main camp is covered by a big gate, so that from the street it's impossible to see the camp. In the garden, there are a lot of trees. Between the trees, there are metal grids with barbed wire on top. These grids are covered by a green plastic. I think the idea of this is that from the street you can't see the grid and the barbed wire. The camp should not look like a prison, but it should be like a prison. The whole garden is really big, but the one for the asylum seekers is just a very small part of it, 3 times smaller than the one for the staff. In this small garden there are 2 benches. There is no other place to sit. From the street you can see a lot of trees, but what is behind the trees you don't know. Between the trees you will find a lot of barbed wire. As an asylum seeker you're not allowed to sit beneath these trees. It looks beautiful, but it's not for us. Behind the trees there's an old villa. Once it was used for minor asylum seekers. Now it is used for medical care. Another part of the villa is used as a break room for the Securitas and ORS staff. They are also having a big garden at their disposal, which is forbidden for an asylum seeker. At the ground floor there's the Securitas controlling zone. Going out is limited from 9 am to 8 pm. Between 12 am and 1 pm and between 6:30 pm and 7:30 pm, you're not allowed to enter or leave. After the identity control, there's a body control each and every time. You feel like entering a special security zone. There are always a lot of Securitas employees who are watching countless screens of surveillance cameras. When you see this, how can you feel comfortable? You feel under total control.
On the 30th December of 2019, the Public Prosecutor's Office issued a press conference concerning the death of a prisoner in the Bässlergut prison. Several local media also published the communication a short time later. Although this has never been made public, the ministry's statement suggests that Salah's death was a suicide. However, the results of the medical examination of Salah's body are not available to the public. The exact cause of death remains unresolved. But for many prisoners, the cause is clear. The Swiss border regime and its practices are the reason for Salah's death. Coercive measures, multiple discriminations, daily racism, police and border guards control, pushbacks are part of the daily experience in the Bässlergut prison.
They say that Switzerland is the country of human rights, but what I saw in this camp is the complete opposite of this. I never imagined coming to Switzerland to fight for humanity.